So we've already set up our migrations, but before you migrate to the database, there's one important thing that we have to talk about, and that is relating these tables. Okay, the table relationships. So we've created here the integer user, but then for us to be able to relate well, I didn't intend to delete users, but let's say that we don't delete users, but later we want to totally delete these users. When somebody deletes the user, and this user has posts, this user has has replies, has done likes. If we delete that user and try to access the user posts, we are going to have a problem. We are going to have an error. And so you have to relate these tables so that in case a user is deleted completely from the database, all the posts and all the risks will be deleted. So I'll just paste this code here, and first now I'm relating the users table and categories table, right? So the users table and the categories table. So the string we have the unsigned integer, which is user ID, and then you have the foreign user ID, and it references ID on users table and on delete cascade. So on delete, all the categories that were created by that user will be deleted. Okay, on total delete, but you're going to have soft delete. So that is on the all you have to do in the categories table, but you have to move to also the forums, right? The forums. So the forums belong to category, and the forums are created by the user. So what we are going to do is that we don't have to delete the user when the category is deleted. So what we are going to do is to use category ID. But if that category is deleted, you want to delete that forum or forums in that category. So what is going to happen is here we do category ID, and that references reference ID on categories table and on delete cascade, that one. And then after that you have to delete this one. And then unsigned big integer is going to be, instead of user ID is category underscore ID, that one. So you've done that for this forums. And then let's move to another migration, which is topics. So we have to do the same. So here it's going to be forum ID. This one is forum ID, references ID on forums table, and then delete cascade, and save that. We also have we can go to, well, we have the user ID. Okay, that way we do that in the relationship. So what we're going to do, but we will do that the same for the user, because we can try to get the user's replies which will already have been deleted. So yeah, user ID referring to this, and we are going to remove this one here. Let's check this one. Okay, so let's move to another one. Tags. Tags, you don't have to do that. Posts, we have to do that. So here we have forum ID. And then we do the same for the user. And we remove this user ID. And that is it. Okay, don't have to do that on that. We have to do this for post. So this is going to be post ID. Just save that. And we have to remove this. Another table is, we have to save this. So we move to the next table, which is views. We save that and remove this one. And then move to the next table, which is replies. So you have the post ID. Yeah, so you can do it like that. And same, you can do the same for the user. And then after that, so we have to look at the description. Same we have to do for the post. So if you delete a post, you also delete short description of that post. So that, so you just to copy this, save that, go to the next table and paste that. And now our database are now well configured. So we have minimized the number of bugs that might come up in the process of development. So after that, we can now run our migrations to save the tables into our database. So to do that, we just go to the terminal and do php artisan migrate and hit enter. We've got an error here. Column entry duplicate. Forums. So let's say forum. This one, we have to remove it. Let's run it again. Another error. Duplicate forum column forum ID. So topics. Okay, forgot removing this one. Again, let's run it. Topics ID. Oh, we have another one here. duplicate forum ID in the posts. Oh, we did not check these ones. We didn't check. You have to remove these and save. So let's check for duplicates. And by the way, like the post, so I think if post IDs, if the post is deleted, we can also delete likes. You have to remove the duplicates. And I think we are done. Now we can run that once for all and it's going to work this time around. And there you go. Now all our tables have been migrated to the database. And now if we go to the database, you see all our tables. Users, topics, tags, post views, post tags, all of them have been migrated. So thank you so much and let's meet in the next section. So welcome again guys. So in the last section you are able to create our databases and then we are able to save them, and these are the tables. We have the categories, failed jobs, forum, all these are the tables that we set up in the last section. Now in this section I want us to look at something. Now this is our forum. And the first thing we have is forum categories. So the forum category here, and then each forum category has forums, right? So you have category 1, category 2, category 3. That is, each category has forum 1, forum 2, forum 3, like that. Right? So this means that the first thing that you have to start dealing with is how to create categories, right? And that takes us to the controller now. So our category is going to have the functionalities of creating, and then updating, reading, and then also deleting. So the CRUD functionality. So for us to do that, we need what we call. So for us to do that, we need what we call a controller. And basically, a controller is a class that has various methods that deals with certain things. So right now we are dealing with category, and we just need one class, and this class is going to have all the methods that are going to deal with creating categories, updating categories, editing and stuff like that. So that brings us to what we call controller. So in the last sections we looked at a model. I told that is a class that deals with the database things, and then we talked about the view. Right now we are on the controller. So how do you create controller? So to create a controller in Laravel, you do PHP artisan make controller followed by the name of the controller. So let's say we are calling it category controller, right? And now we have what we call resource controller. Now let me just this category controller just using the basic way, the way we create, and in the next controller I'm going to show you how we can create but then let me just create this delete and then show you how you can create resource controller. So after that, you just hit enter, and a new controller will be created. And where will it be created? It will be created inside the HTTP, the app, inside app HTTP controllers, and we have our category controller. So this is the controller that we created, and as you can see, there's no any other method that is there. So let's just delete this and create what we call a resource controller. And what happens the resource controller is that it has CRUD methods. So it has the creating, deleting, updating methods. So let me just delete this controller and show you. So I've deleted that controller, and I'll go back and run that command. But to create a resource controller, just do -r like that and hit enter, and it's now going to create a resource controller. And if we open now, here we see that this controller has various methods that have been created, like we have index, create, store, show, and then edit, and then you have destroy. All right, so this is the resource controller. And the first two, this controller is going to deal with the categories. The first thing that we are going to do is to create our categories, because we can't do anything before categories. So the first thing, we need to have our categories. And remember, admin is the one who is responsible for creation of categories, meaning that we have to go to the admin panel, or we have to do that in the admin panel or dashboard, the dashboard that we created yesterday. So let me just show you. I'm going to, if you are following me and we go to resources, and then views, layout, and this dashboard here, if we scroll down, so you can see, for example, you have this menu here, and that menu is, if we go to visit our application and go /dashboard/home, this is this menu that you are seeing when you click on actions button here. You see you have edit content about that one. So here is where you are going to create a button where somebody can add or admin can add a category. And for us to do that, you have to delete that, and we just do create category, and then here the URL is going to be, I just show you, you do this, and then we'll do route. So we are going to create a named route, and that route will be category .new. So this is going to create a new category, and remember, I have to create this route in the routes in the web.php in the routes folder. So to open that, I'll show you the shortcut of opening this method. If you are using Windows, do Control P and they type the name you want to search. If you are using Mac, I think the Command P. So if I do Control P, it will appear there, and I can search a file, for example, web.php, and it is there. So that is the easiest way of navigating these files. So here I'm going to create a route. Okay, so that route is going to be, just do routes get, and then it will be dashboard home. Okay, now just do dashboard category new, and which controller are we going to use? Which controller are we going to call? That is app. Remember, this is Laravel, right? So remember to do this app HTTP controllers, and then the name of the controller is the category controller. And the method that is going to handle this is going to be create method, right? It's going to be create method. So after doing this, what we are going to do is to name this, and we have to give it this name here. You can see it is category.new. So we have to go here and then give it name, and that name is going to be category.new, and that is it. So if we save that, we have to, if we save that, let's save this one also. So if we go to the if we refresh here and click here, you see create category here, right? You see create category. This one has changed to create category. So if we click on this create category, what should happen is that it should the form here. It should load the form. Okay, it should load the create category form. So let's go to let's see how we can create that form. And of course that form here, we can only create it in the admin views admin pages. Okay, so we are just going to copy some code. We have boilerplate. We are going to copy this one here. And we are going to copy that, and we are going to call the name of the file as category new. We are just going to call category new underscore category dot blade dot php, and then you are going to paste that. So after that, what we are going to do, we have to open the categories controller, and then inside the method create, inside this method create, so remember this one shows the form, right? This shows the form. So inside the method create here, we are going to do, we're just going to return that file that you created. So just do return view, and that view is admin dot pages dot category underscore new. It is a new category, I think. It is new category, new underscore category. So that way. So what's happening here is that what is happening is that when we visit this URL, if we visit this URL, it is going to call the method create on the category controller. And this method create on the category controller, what does it do? It loads a file, and that file is located inside the resources views folder. And inside that we have admin folder, inside that we have pages folder, inside that we have a file called new category, and that is what it is doing here. We can load it together with some data, but that will be for another time. So if we save that and then refresh here, in category, there is a problem, and that problem is in that file, this one here. There is a route that has been called that we have not created, so we have to look for that route. So this one is the route. So here we just do category dot store, and you have to create that route. So to create that route, we go back to the web, and then this method here we just copy and then paste down there. Instead of get should be post, because this method is the one that is going to store the new category or to save that category in our database. So we can do new. This one can remain like this because this one is post, this get, but then the method you have to change to post. You have to change to store because the store method is the one that is dealing with saving the form data, the category data to the database. So this is the method. Remember, we are using the method that are already created, and if those methods are not created, we create others. We create the method that we use. So you can't use a method that is not or does not exist in that controller. So after getting that, we just do category.store like that. And I think that is it. If we refresh, everything should work now. And there we go now. We have now our form, nice form here. So by saying add new post. So remember this one was just the one that I used, the one that's boilerplate. It was used for creating posts. But then right now we are not creating a post, we are creating a category. So we have to change this. So we go back to the new category.blade.php, and then instead of a new post is going to be new category. And then that change this to category. And then after that, I think after that, so instead of post title should be category title. This one should be category image, and this one should be category description, like that. So if we save that and refresh, you find that these ones have changed, right? But then let's look at the categories migration so that we can know what are the required fields. So if you open that migration, you find that you need title, you need description, you need image, user ID, and user. Okay, you have user ID. So those are the only thing that we need. So the user ID or the person who created that, we don't need to get here. We'll get that in the controller. So that is the only thing that we need, but you need to change this title, description, image. You need to change form. So if we go to form here, category, input name should be image, that is correct. Title, the name is title, that is correct. And then description, where is it? The description, the name is post, but it will be description. So we have to change that. And that is all we need. That is all you need on this form. So if we refresh, you see now it is this is what we need. Now that is it now, but you have to add the functionalities. You have now to add the functionality where we can now create the category, right? So we already have the category model, and we have the category the category migration, or the table. The table. So for example, if we add here, let me just show you. So if we go back to the category controller, we have the store method, and you see the store method we are passing there request, and this request catches the data that comes through the request, and we can access that data. So for example, if I just want to die and dump that data that comes, let me just show you request like that. If I save that, and go back to the to this and just do, that is the category title. Then we can try to choose the image. We can just choose an image like that. Then I can just write anything. This is the category description. So if we just do this and then hit on add button, you are going to see that data dumped. And here we have that data. So we have just dumped that data here. And from this data, we can get a lot of the information that has been sent through the request in this request attribute. If we click on this, you find that you have 3 parameters. And if we click on that, you find that you have the token. So remember, Laravel has what we call SRF token, a CSRF token, I'm sorry. Laravel has what we call CSRF token. And that token prevents cross-origin forgery. So if the information that is submitted from another form, Laravel will not accept, because it sends this token through that to identify that that form has been sent, or that form data has been found through the application's form. And then we have the title that we just wrote, and then we have the description here. Okay, we can access that data. So for us to save that data, where are we going to save it? We are going to save that data in the categories, table, and you have to import it here. So you have to do use, where is the location of the models? It is in the app, and then models, and then the name of the model is category model. So we are importing that model here, that model class, so that we can use it as methods. So if we go to HTTP, you have models, you find that you have category model, and this is the class that we are importing, and we can use it now. Now I'm going to use Eloquent, and the first thing you have to instantiate this model, this category class, and what we will do by inside this store method, we are going to do category. We are going to create a variable category, and is equals to new category. So we are instantiating that category class, and then we can now access it is we can access now it is value. So for example, we can do category, and remember category what we have title, and this one will be equals to the title that comes through the request, like that. And you just copy this and paste down. So there are many ways of saving this data, but then I'll just show you, because you are uploading image, I don't want to use the shortcut method. There are other methods that you can just save using one line. For example, you can just do like this. You can just do category, create, and then there you can pass everything request, and this one is going to create everything that comes through the request. But remember, we have the image upload there, so we are not going to do this. So let me just delete that, and I'm going to show you that in another functionality. So here we have description here, but image you are not going to, that is there's a different way we save image. So the image you are not going to just do it, you just save that, and then okay, you need user ID I told you about. So we have the title, and then you have description. I'm sorry for that. So we get the description that comes through the request, and then we have category, user ID. So the user ID is the ID of the currently logged in user. And how can we access that? We can access that using auth ID. So this one is going to access the ID of the currently logged in user. Okay, and then after that we can just do category and then save. So since if I don't include the image, is going to cause an error, what I'm going to do is to do this. Just do category image is equals to, let me just give it a string. Let me just give it a string like that. And now category save. After saving, we will return back. Return back. So that is what we are going to do now. So before I do anything, if I go back to the browser and inside the local database and click on categories, you find out that it is empty, right? It is empty. So what we want to do is to try and create one category. And we just go back, and then category name, we can give it a JavaScript. And then we can just leave that, and then here we just can just say this is a JavaScript forum, like that. And let's click on add and see what happens. So it's telling us that a user ID cannot be null, and what that means is that this auth ID is not working. Auth ID is not working. And that there's nobody, we are not logged in. That is the reason why this is not working. We are not logged in. So what we are going to do is to go back and log in first. So just go back to the home page. Let's just do login. And then log in using the email that I used to create the account. Okay, now I'm logged in and I can now navigate to the dashboard and home. And then we click on create category. And here we can do that this is a JavaScript forum, and then if we click on add, it should save. And it has saved. It has saved because it returned back. So if we go here and refresh, you can see we have that saved. That record has been saved here. So that is all about creating a category, creating a new category. In the next section, I'll show you how we can upload the image. Thank you so much, and let's make them. So welcome again, and in the last section we are able to create our first category, but then there are various things that I want us to do. The first thing is that if we try to submit, to click on this button without entering anything in these fields, we need to have gotten an error. Let me just a minute. Okay, so I want to show you something. So if we refresh here and click on this, we have not entered anything. If we try to click on this, you find that we are getting an error, title not null. So we need some validation so that if the fields are not filled, you have to tell the user that the fields are not, this field is required, this field is required. So for us to do that, we go back to the controller, the store method, and we have to write validation. So there are various methods of validation. So what we do is, what we are validating is the request, and so what we just do is request, and then we call on the helper called validate. So Laravel has what we call a helper function that helps us to do various functions that we don't need to write the code for them. So one of those functions is validate, that checks our data against certain rules. So for example, we need to validate title, and then the rule is required. There are various rules, can be required, can be minimum of a certain number, right? But right now what we are doing is required. So for example, we have placed here required, right? So let's just save that. And now if we try to submit, you find that there's nothing happens, but it takes us back to the form, but we don't see any error. So if we go to that form here, we need to catch that error from this form here. And like from here we can catch that error down here, right? And for us to catch that error, we have a blade command called error. I don't know if it is error. So we can catch that error, and if we do just error, and then which type of error, or where does this error apply, why does this error apply, and it applies on title. So we just do title. So this here you enter the field name. So the field name is title. So here it should be title. And if there is any error, we can now write here the message. So let's just do a paragraph. In that paragraph, since it's an error, just give it a class, bootstrap of class of alert, and then alert danger, so that it can be read. So after that, we just do echo the message like that. So if we save that and go back and try to submit it, and now we have a nice message, title field is required, right? So that is what we have to do for the image and the other. So let's just copy this and paste down here for image. Let's do a div. For them to be styled, we'll just do a div with the class of call lg10, and there we'll place that. This one is going to be image, and then again you can copy all of these and paste down here. And this one is going to be for description, so just do description like that. So we have to do the same for this. And that is what you have to do to catch the errors. So if we try now to refresh, let's refresh that and try to submit. I think there is a problem. We interfered with our form, but we can fix that. We can fix that by copying this one, and then we can place them. Okay, this is call LG2, call LG10. So let's just remove the call LG10. We will style it well, but let's remove this college 10. For the time being, let's save that and try it out again. Refresh. And here we go. So let's try to click on the button. And the fact that this one is not is required. But then if we enter that and try to submit, oh, we did not write the rules for image and description. So just do that image and then description. So that way. So let's go. Let's just refresh. And there you go. Now we get those errors, right? So if we try to submit, we get those errors. Title required, image is required, then the description is required. So at least that is good for now. That is good for now, that validation. Now we cannot submit that form without these fields, right? Okay, now that is it for now. Now in the next section, let's look at the image upload, because I don't want to handle them in one session. It is going to be long. So in the next section, you're going to handle image upload. Thank you so much, and let's meet then. So welcome again now, and in this session I'm going to show you how we can return back with a nice error. So what you're going to do, let me show you the create, it is new category, this one. Let me show you some code. So this code here, we have this code, and what it does is that it checks if session has any errors, right? And it echoes those errors. And then if session has any message, it will echo that message here. So for us to do that, we have to go to, let me show you. We have to go to the categories controller, and then after saving this, before going back, I just want to paste that code. So we make sure that we place these messages in there. What I'm going, this line, I'm placing a message in the session. That message is going to say category created successfully. And now depending on the either success or failure or error. So if it is success, I'm going to send a class of alert success. If it is an error, I'm going to send a class of alert danger. So right now, if the creation of the category is successful, I'm going to send this message, category created successfully. And I'm placing this message in the session so that when it goes back, this data is in the session and it is intercepted here in the session. If that message is in the session, that message is going to be shown here. But then remember, we have to use this. You have to use this in our controller too. So just copy this and go to the controller and paste it there. So save that. So remember this code that I'm showing you, we just got the template, the admin template has this code, the admin template has this, so we just took that section, but it has this code. So after saving that, let's try to create another one. So let's call it Java, and then select an image like this, and then we just do this is a Java fora, and after that let's just click on add and see what happens. And you see a very nice message, category created successfully. So that is it with creating category, and then the showing the message to the user or admin. So we are now able to create a category, right? Now that is the C, create. But we have to be able to read the data of that category. So meaning that we need categories, we need a categories table where we'll display all the categories in our database. And I don't know if we can do it now. So if we go again to the dashboard, dashboard, we have menu file. We just this one dashboard here. You can see we created this one, create category. Okay, but then we need another one. We need another one like this, where here we are displaying all the users. So let's just copy that again and enter there, but this we are going to now call it categories. So these categories, when somebody clicks on this, we are going to display all the categories in the table. So here we'll just do a route. We just do a route. And then you can just do dashboard. We can just do categories the way it is, categories like that. And then we will have to create that route. So let's just save it. I go to the web.php and then create a new route. Is going to be a get route. So it's going to be categories, and then here the method is going to be index. So index method. So here we'll call it categories. Remember, this is how we call this is the named route, and we gave it the name categories. And remember, this is the name that we are using it. We are using the dashboard categories. So let's just save that. And if we go back and refresh here, you are going to see categories appearing here as another item, categories. But when we click on it, what do you want to happen? You want to open categories table here. So what you want to do is to go to the files in the admin, just the admin template that you are using. It's not in public, it is in resources, and then views, resources, views, then admin, then pages. We can get from users, we can get the table from users. So here we just copy all of it. These files, where are these files? I don't want to confess you. Where are these files? Where are they? these files are in the admin template that we used. That's when I was integrating admin templates, you get these files. You can delete those you don't want. You can get some boilerplate code that we are getting and using in other files. So we'll just create another file here, and we are going to call it categories.blade.php, and then we are going to paste that, but of course we are going to edit. So instead of users we are going to do forum categories. You can just call it categories, and then here we are going to call it forum categories. The same here. Okay, the same here, like that. And then now what do you want to display? You have the title. Here we are going, this tab we are going to change the forum title. Remember this is a table. So here will be forum title. And then image. Then we'll have description. And then we'll have a view, edit, delete, okay, buttons. And so here will be for each, if categories, we are going to do categories. Categories. As category. So what we are going to do, what we are doing right now, let me just explain. We are looping through all the categories that comes through this file until come through the request. We will be looping through all the categories, and we are going to get those values. For example, the category has category, image, description, and then the title. So that is what we are doing, just looping through, and then this one will be category. So let's just copy this. Where will these categories come from? I'm going to show you in a while. It is going to come from the categories controller. So you have the category title, and then the category. So the image is going to be different. The image is going to be a little bit different, but then let's just get this category description. And here let's just do image like that and save it. That's going to be category ID. Then it's going to be categories. So maybe I confused some of you, but I'm going to explain it in a way that you'll understand very well. So remember this, we have MVC, so model view controller. What we are dealing with is the view, and this view is a file. This is the file where we'll be displaying our categories. And how will we be displaying? So you have this route that we've created called categories, and this route, when somebody visits this route here, we are going to call this method on category controller called index. So let's just look at that method. So this is that method. So on the index, this is where we have to fetch all the categories in the database and send them together with the in the request. So what we do is we just define categories, and then is equals to category. So this is eloquent as a method that we can use to get all the categories. So we can do all, and this is going to retrieve all the categories in our database as objects, right? But we want to paginate. We want just to paginate. So we will fetch the latest category, and then we paginate 20. So what pagination means that is that we don't want to display all the categories. We want to display 20 in a group of 20. So that is why we are fetching from the latest, the ones that are created latest, and then we are paginating 20 per page, or right, yeah, per page. Then we are going to return view, and that view is going to be admin pages and then categories, but you have to send together with these categories data. So we have a method called compact. So we do compact, and then we are compacting categories. So this is going to load that view, which is just this view that is called category that we've been working on, but it is going to send alongside this data called categories. Just this data, the categories were fetched from the database. And now, after that, what we are doing in the categories that we are looping through the categories. So we are looping through the categorizing for each. So if we have categories, or categories are more than 0, we are going to loop through those categories, and for each category we will be displaying it is titled category description, and the image we are also going to display the image as I'll show you. So let's just save that and go back and refresh and see. So let's click on categories and see what will happen. And there you go. We have our categories, right? This is how they are displayed, but we have a problem here, the way we are displaying this one. But now remember that if we go to the form, if we go to the create category form, you'll find that this one we are writing just it's sending in form of HTML, and for us to display that, I'll show you on the description here. On the description, you remove those and do that. So this will make it only display the data and not the HTML tags. So let's refresh and see. And not that one. Let's just click on categories, and now we have our categories displayed like this, right? So in this section, we have been able to create, read. Okay, you have been able to create and read the categories, but then we've not done editing and then deleting. So in the next section, we'll do the editing function or updating functionality. Okay, so let's do that in the next session. So in this section, we are going to display each category. So this is a list of categories, but you want it to work in a way that when somebody clicks on the view button, you want to display that category. And for us to do that, the first thing we need is the file that is going to show that category. So we go back to the code. Inside the admin and pages, you have to create that file. Okay, so we'll just create like the same as category here. Let's just copy these categories, and then we'll create another file inside the pages, and that file we're going to call it category. You can just call it single category .blade.php, and inside there you're just going to paste that, but you are going to edit. So the first thing you are going to do is to remove some items. So we have to remove the entire form, not the form actually. You have to remove the entire table up to here. And then inside this panel is where we are going to display the categories. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a container. So what I'm using Emmet. Emmet is an extension that helps you create a HTML tag easily without writing them. So for example, for me to write a div, I just do that, and then the div with the class of maybe row, I just do that and then row. It's going to create a div with the class of row. So inside that row, I'm going to create a column, call LG, let me just do 3, call LG3 like that. And then inside here is where we are going to display. So I'm creating a row, and then inside that row I'm creating a column with 3 rows. I call LG3. If you are familiar with Bootstrap, you know what I'm doing. So inside here, we are going to first display the title. You can just do H4. And then this will be category title. Then under that, I'm just going to do P, and then category description, and then before that I need an image, so just do MG, just like that, and I'll just call it category image. So let me just save that and show you. So how do we display this? We have inside the category, we have the method called show, and it is in this method that we are going to show that. But the first thing, you have to get the ID. You have to pass the ID of the category. So let me show you. If we go to the new category here, not new category but categories. If somebody clicks on the view here, this is the wrong URL. You should just do dashboard categories, but you have to get the category ID and pass it there, right? And pass there. Alternatively, you can use route. You can just do the routes. And to the routes, what you can do, we can just do a route, and then that route we can name it categories. We can just name it category like that, and then we pass there the ID of the category like that. And remember, I have to create that route in the web.php file. So let's just save that and then go to the web.php, and then we just copy this. This one will be category, and it will be, the method is show. The controller is still the categories controller, but then the method is show, and then it is categories, but then you have to pass there the ID of the category. So you have to do like that and save it. So if that, when that request come, I just want us to, we can get it here. So to get the category, can just do category to category, and it has a method called find. Find will find a category by the ID, so just find by that ID. And then after that, we can try to console log by just dying and dumping the category. So let's test it. So we go to the browser, refresh, and then let's try to close JavaScript. And if we go to the if we open this arrow, we find that the title, the ID is two, title is JavaScript, description is here, and then the image, ID, all those, we get them there. But we don't want to die and dump them here. We want to send these details to that category file, this single category file. And for us to do that, we just do return view. That view is admin pages, and then single underscore category. But we send together with the data, so you have to compact category like that. So that is it. So let's go back. Now when we click on this button, if we click on this button, says undefined constant, okay, you have to do that. So let's save it again and refresh. And this is how it is displaying, and the reason why it is displaying this is that we are using static data. So we have to go back to the code and use now automate it. So just go to the single category, and then instead of this, we're just going to do category, and then title, and then I'll come to the image later, and this will be category, and then description like that. So let's just go and look at it now. Refresh. And we have the title is Java, and then the this is the description, but remember you have to remove those by doing that. Now to display the image, this is what we will do. The source is going to be, there is a helper called asset, and if we do like asset like this, what it's going to do is going to start to look in the public directory. So inside the public directory we have a folder called storage, and then inside the storage we have images. Where did we save the image? And then we have the categories. Okay, and then after that we have to concatenate that to the image name. So here we'll do we concatenate with category and then image, like that, and that is going to display our image. So we go to the directory where we save the image, and then we look for the that category's image name. And there we have our image, but that image is too large, so meaning that we have to resize it. We can resize it by I will show you how to resize it, but for now we can just set height to 100 and width it to 100. And that is it. Now this is how it has been resized. So this is the category name, and then we have the image, and then the category description. Well, it is not our good way of displaying, but I think we can maybe use Bootstrap CRUD. Let me just search for welcome back again to this course, and just thank you if you've reached here. You have come so far. Now, in the last section, we were able to create categories. We are able to read categories, and now we are also able to display categories. So, for example, here we have the create category, where it opens the create category form, and then here we have all the list of categories, and then if we click on view one category, it's going to open this interface. So this is where we were last time, and then I promised that it doesn't look good this way, and I said that we are going to use the Bootstrap CRUD in this session, so that we can make it beautiful. So I've searched Bootstrap CRUD, and you have here a nice card, and I think we can use this. So what you have to do is to just copy this code here from this section here up to here. So here you can just search. Found this one in MD Bootstrap. This is on here, but then I'll be pushing this code to GitHub so that all the students will be able to access. So after that, what you're going to do is to search for a file called create. Okay, it is a single, I think something single category. Yeah, it's a single category .blade.php, and this is where we listed our categories here. Now what you want to do is to just make this one call LG. Call LG. We can just make it call LG 8, but then add offset. Offset 4. So we'll do offset LG 4. So what is this going to do is it's going to center this div. It's going to center this div. So after that, we just paste our code here. And then after that, we'll of course automate. So the place of image, you are going to paste this here. The image source, we're just going to cut this and paste here. And then title, just copy this, just cut this, and the title, the card title is going to be here. And then after that, you have the card description, and that one is going to be here. So after that, we can delete this, we don't need it anymore. And now let's save that and go back and refresh and see what it looks like. Well, now this is how it looks like, but this image is still a problem. We have to use these classes here. Height, that we can give it 200, width 200 or 300. So let's try to remove these. Just do offset 2 like that, and then after that let's try to give it a background of dark, so BG dark, this Bootstrap, and let's try to refresh and see. So this is how it looks like now, but then we don't need even this button here. We don't even need this button. So what we are going to do is to just remove it. But we can also make it a delete button. You can just make it delete. But right now, let's just comment it out. Now, as a matter of fact, we often don't need to display categories. The most important thing to do is to be able to edit and to be able to edit and to delete, right? Because categories, you are not going to have a lot of like, we are not going to have longer descriptions, but just like 200 characters description, right? So that is it with maybe categories, and I mean that is it with the displaying categories, but I think now we can work on edit for these edit categories. So we want it to work in a way that when somebody clicks on this edit button, what happens is that we are taken to the edit form, then somebody does changes, we update. So for us to do that, first we go to our code and look for the file that displays all categories, which is this one here. And then after opening this file, we have to look at this one. I think this one is the edit button, and you have to do the same thing. We have to pass their ID, right? So we are editing this, you have to pass ID in this, and then the root, and the root should be category.edit, like that. And then the same thing you have also to do it here, and it's going to be category delete. So we have to create these routes, category.edit and category.delete. So we have to open web.php. Then this web.php, we just copy this and then paste down, then dashboard categories, and then we pass the ID, and then we can just category, we can just do delete, but then we pass there the ID, and again we paste. This time we do edit, and we pass ID there. So you have delete and edit, and then you have to change this one. Is going to be now let me explain something. For editing, we need two routes. So let me just first start with editing route and paste that there. So for editing, we need the form, and we also need the form, and we also need the route for saving. So when the data comes through that route, we save it. So what we are going to do is to copy this and then paste down there. But all these functionalities are provided in the categories controller. So if we open categories controller, not function, not actually functions or methods. If we open a categories controller, you'll find that we have edit, and this is the method that you're going to use. Right, you have this edit. So this is going to display a form. As you can see, show the form, right? This is going to display the form. And you have now the update. The update is the one that is going to handle the request that comes in data. So the get one, that one is going to be edit. And this one is going to be update. And let's just do first. You can do post or you can do patch. So this one is going to be category.update, and this one is going to be category.edit, and this one is going to be category. You can just do destroy, and this one is going, the method here is destroy, therefore delete destroy. So after doing that, of course you have to change here also, because we use delete here, edit. You need to change this one to update, and then we also need to change this one to destroy. Yeah, like that. So that is it, and that is it with the routes. Now we have to create a file that is going to display the edit form. And for us to do that, we just go inside the admin pages and then create another file, and it's going to be just the same as single category. So just doing category, just do edit underscore category .blade.php, and then just go to category, not single, actually new category, and then copy it, category like that. Okay, just like that, and just like this, but this is going to be edit category, edit category, edit. Yeah, just like that. But then I'll show you the data that you are going to send to this file, but that will happen in the category controller. So what happens is that when somebody clicks on this button, just let me show you, somebody can the edit button, what we are getting is the ID this category. So after getting that ID, we pass to the request, and inside the controller, using that ID, we are able to get the category. Okay, so let me show you. Just go to the web. The first thing you have to deal with is the edits. In the edit, so let's just go to the category control and then the edit method. So here we are catching this ID that is coming through the request, and then we are going to find that category. So you can see category is equals to, use category model and then a method called find, which finds a resource by the ID, so the ID that comes there. So that is how we get that category. Okay, and then after getting this category, what do? We send this category together with this category and through the request to the file now that will display that form. So what we'll do, just return a view. Just the file that you've created is called edit. It's called, first it is in admin.pages.edit_category. But then you have to send together that data, so you have to do compact category. So we are sending together that data, and I'll show you the importance. So that is it. So let me show you how it works. Now let me just click on this edit button here, and you see it opens this form, edit category now, right? But you see, if we leave it this way, the user will not know, you cannot know that is maybe category. So you have to display information here, the category title, then you have to display the category description. The image you can leave that way. So what you do is the edit category.blade.php, and then what we do is just in this form we can do if we just display that form if there is category. So we have to use blade at if what, if category. So if that variable comes through the request, we are going to display this form. So we end if there. So inside here, we are going to, okay, maybe here you can do if category. Well, it gets, that will work. So after that, what you are going to do is that this one you have to change it from category.store to category.update. Right, and then after that, category title input, the value, the value is going to be category title, like that. and then the message. Okay, now this one is for error actually. And then, but we don't need this. We don't need errors here because you are editing category. So if somebody does not send information inside the field to remain like that, will not update that field. So we don't need that. Well, so that is image, you leave it the way it is, but description you have to change. Some description is text area, so you not input value, just do here, just echo here the category description. So just do category and then description like that, have it. So if we go back and refresh, you find that these fields are going to be, looks like you get an error. Okay, there's something here. On this route we did category dot update, but you have to pass there the ID of that category. So I do a category, you have to pass there the ID of that category like that, otherwise it's going to throw an error as you've seen. So let's just refresh and see. Now it works. So as you can see, we have the category, title, and then the category description. So instead of add, it's going to change to update. So just scroll down and then change this to update. And so after that, I will have just used a simple effort. Then remember that we have an image here. Somebody can choose to use another image, and we have to go through the whole process of uploading the image. So how will we know that somebody has, maybe the request is coming with an image? Well, let's go to the controller and now work on the update functionality here. So the first thing we have to get we are getting the ID, right? That is the ID of the category. Because remember that in this form we are sending the category ID. And what are we going to update? We are going to update that specific category. So you're not going to update all the categories. So the first thing you have to get the category. And what you are going to do, first of all, you have to check, the first thing is to check image upload. So you have to check if the image has come through the request, right? So if for us to do that, we just do if request and then image. So meaning that the image has come through the request, you'll have to go through the process of uploading the image, which is up here, right? Which is up here. So this is the process of uploading the image. You have to copy. So if there is an image, if the image comes through the request, we will go through the process of updating. Okay. So you are on update. So if we don't do this, of course, it is going to throw an error because it will say that image is required and it's not there. So you have to check if the image has come through the request first. And then after that, if the image has come through the request, the first thing we get the image and then we upload it. Okay. And then we continue with updating the category. So we don't do new. Let me just show you here. Copy this up to here. So here we do this. Instead of new, we have to find this category by ID. So we are not creating a new category, but we are updating the existing category. So here will be, instead of new, will be category, and then we have to use the method find. And what are we finding? We are finding that ID. So we are finding category by ID that come through the request. Then after that, category.title equals to title, right? Category dot description equals to record the description. But then instead of that, we can just do this. If request and then title. So if title is sent through the request, if title is sent through the request, what you want to do is just send the category title to the title that came through the request. Then after that, you have to do the same description. If request description you do that, and then we don't have to change the user ID, right? You don't have to change the user ID. The user ID will just remain the same because you don't want to allow another person to update the record created by another user. Then so the same with the image. So if request image, so the image is equals to new name. Then after that, we will save that category. So I will have already updated now by this time we're saving. Then we have to go back that and do category updated successfully. And we are sending alert success, right? But remember that if we don't define this thing here first, they're going to throw an error. If not, we are using the image, we are using we need to use them globally. So what we are going to do, just copy all these. Don't need that. So let's define this on a global scope here. And then we just set them to null or empty string like that. So after setting them on a global scope, we can use them. And that will be it with updating. That will be it. So let's try and see. So let's just refresh here. So this is Java. Let's just change it to Java edited. Sorry for that. This is edited category. Then after that, we don't choose the image. So let's just click on update and see what happens. And there you go, category updated successfully. And as you can see, it is now Java edited. And if we go back to the categories, If we go back to the categories, you see now instead of Java, it is Java edited. And you click on the view button, you find that it is the same image. But now let's try to change the image. So let's just click on this. Sorry for that. Let's just click on view. Not view actually, not view. Let's just click on edit. And then here you are going to choose another image. Let's try this logo. And then going to do, just do here, image added. Image changed. Like that. So let's just click on update and see if it will work. It has worked. So let's first let's not just assume, let's go to the categories and view this category and see the image. And as you see, the image has changed. So basically that is how to write the updating functionality. So the delete functionality is quite simple. I think I can just finish the delete functionality before we end the video. So delete, you have the destroy here. So what you are getting is the ID. So the ID, you have to get that category. So you do category is equals to category. And then we find by ID. We find using the ID that comes through the request. And then if category, we can delete it. We don't have to do that. Let's just do category delete. We call the delete method. And that is it. After that, we can now copy that and then paste there, and then category deleted successfully. Just like that. Let's save it and try deleting. So we'll go to categories and we'll try deleting this category here. It has been deleted, but we didn't see the message. Let's see what is the problem. Anyway, deleting works. We look at that. There's why you don't get the message later. But now that is just basically how to do a create, read, and update. Now we have done that on categories. In case you have any question, just ask in the Q&A section, and I'll respond. But basically that is it. As you can see, it is very simple. It's not something that is complicated. And in the next section, we can look at the forums now. So welcome again. And in the last section, we finished the CRUD for categories. And in this session, I just want us to look at, we begin working on the forum. Now the reason why we started the categories is that you cannot create forums creating categories, because forums belong to certain category, so the categories must come first. Now let's look at the structure of our forum. Each category has forums. Each forum has topics and posts, right? Now, and each post they have replies, likes also. Now we are in this level where we have created. We now need to move to the level of creating the forums. So of course the forums we are going to create them from the backend, so that the admin is the one that's going to be responsible for creating the forums, and then the users later can work on it in a way that if somebody has certain rank, it can be able to be allowed to create forums, but that will be later. Right now let's look at how we can create categories. So we first go back to the admin dashboard. Creating forum means that we'll create here actions here, where we'll add here a button of create forum. Okay, and here we will need a forum controller. We need forum controller. So the first thing is to add this button create forum. What we will do is to go to the code, and then we are going to look for the dashboard .blade.php. Okay, so here as you can see our categories have the actions here, so you have to add another action, and that action will be create forum, and then this one will be, instead of category, is going to be forum.new, right? That is the route. We don't have this route as at now, so we have to create it. If we refresh right now, we are going to get an error. So we go to the web.php and then create another route. I will have used resource controller, but I don't like using resource controllers because they are methods that you have to modify and others. So I'll just do that, and then here will be forum.new. So let's just add a comment here, forums. Now instead of categories, we just do forums. You can just do forum and then new, like that. And then there will be forum controller, which we've not created. Forum controller, you can just do a forum controller, and then the method is going to be create. So forum controller create, like that. So let's save that, and then we can create that controller. So we do php artisan make controller, and then it's going to be forum controller. Let's make it resource controller. So great, it has been created, and you can just search that controller by doing forum, and we have forum controller here, right? This is the forum controller, and this is the method create. So the create method is going to return a form. Okay, so this one is going to return a form. What it just do is that return view admin dot pages dot new underscore forum. So this we'll have to create this blade file that's called new underscore forum, and let's do it right now. Just go to the admin pages, and then we create new underscore forum dot blade dot php, and that is it. So here on the new forum, we are going to create new category. We are going to copy all this code and we'll just modify. So just after copying that, you go to the new forum and then paste that code. And we are just going to modify the code. And that is it. That is what you have to do. But then you have to change this from category to forum. So that is it. Let's just refresh and see how it works. So if we click on actions, we find that we have this create forum here. So if we click on it, it loads our new forum form here. Okay. Now this one is going to have fields. It's going to have more fields than these ones here. For example, you have to look at the model. Not the model, you have to look at the migration and you know the fields. So if we go to the database directory and then migrations, and then it is create. So you can just search for it instead of doing that. Create forum. And we have like title, description, topics. So these are the ones we have. So you have title and description already, but then you have to add topics. You have to add topics. Yeah, actually, no, we don't even need topics. Actually, don't need even topics. We don't need topics. We don't need topics. It will be default is 0. We'll be incrementing. And we'll be incrementing it every time we add a topic. But then we need. We don't need user ID because we'll get the login user ID. We need category ID, right? Yes, we need category ID. So since we need the category ID, what we are going to do that from the forum controller, we will have to send categories, right? So here we have to use category, use app models category. And we also have to import the app models and then forum, because that is the model that we are going to use to save the data to the forums table. Now here is we'll do categories is equals to category, and then you need the latest. Let's just take latest and get. So this is going to return the latest categories from the database. Then after that you have to compact categories, and those categories you are going to get them in the new forum form. So in the new forum form, we are going to add the forum has no image. I don't think the forum has an image. No, we don't have an image there. We are going to add category. we just do forum category. And then this one, okay, this description. No, let's not use it that way. Where that way, no, that here. Then we just do forum description. But then this forum image is the one that you're going to use to do forum category. The forum category. And then after that, this one is not going to be name. It's going to be, it is not going to be input in the select. So this one is going to be category underscore ID. We don't need this, but we need a class of form control. And then here we have to look through and display. So and for each categories as category, and for each categories as category. Now we are looking through the categories and have to do the option here. And then remember I have value. So value is going to be category ID, because that is the one we are sending to the through the request. So it's the category ID. Remember this field stands for ID. So here we are sending the ID. That is the value that we need. But then here is going to be category title. Title like that. So that is all you have to do. Yeah, that is all you have to do. Now this one will be forum title. So forum title, you have it. You have forum categories, and then you have the forum description here. So here you just do add forum. So let's just go to the form and refresh and see how it looks like. Nice. Now you see, now categories are being displayed from the latest. So the latest is this one, we have this and we have that one. So if we select one, by the time we'll be sending, it's going to go with the category ID. Now that we have created, add a new forum form, we are going now to create to work on the functionality for saving the data to the database. And for us to do that, we'll have to go to the forum controller, not forum control. Actually, you have to go to the web.php. For us to do that, you have to go to the web.php file and then create a post route. So you have to change that to post. You can remain this way, but then this one, instead of create, is going to be store. So remember, it is the store method that is going to handle that. So if we go to the forums controller And then we have this store method, and we have the request coming through that method, and you can handle that request. So the first thing is, in fact, that is very simple. Since we don't have any image that we're going to upload, we are just going to basically save everything that comes. Okay. But then there's something, because you have to set the user, and you have also to set the user and category ID. We can also just do that. We can just do that like on the forum form. We can add hidden fields. And the first one is going to be, we don't need this. In fact, we don't even need this. We don't need any keyword. We just create that. We just create an input. Type is going to be number. And then value is going to be auth. Value is going, you are going to echo there the authenticated user's ID. So it will be auth and then ID. It will be authenticated user's ID. And then the name we are going to use to give it is the user underscore ID. So you have the user ID, you have the category ID, and that is what we need. For example, if we look at this, we find that we need title, we need description, we need topic, we need user ID, category ID. Is deleted, of course, it's obvious. So that is all we need. Now after writing that in the form, it is very simple here. What we have to do is just to do a forum. Just do forum create. And what are you going to create? You just do request all. And that is it. But first, before doing that, we have to go to the forum. You have to go to the forum model and do a few things. So the first thing you have to do here, you have to do protected guarded is equals to this. So you have to do that for mass assignment, for saving all the fields for all the details in the database. You have to do this, or you can do protected and then you can define the field. So let's just do this, and then you can save that, and now we can, before that, we go back to the forum controller, and of course you need to send some message after creating new forum. So I need to send some message. So just copy that, go to the forum, and then after this, so we'll do forum created successfully. And that is it. So let's try and see. So just refresh. And this one has to be hidden. This one, why? This one has to be hidden. Yeah, that's okay. Now just forum like like JavaScript. And then we'll take forum as JavaScript. And then this forum is all about JavaScript promises. And then after that, we can now try and click on add forum. And the forum has been created. Now for us to try and see if it was created or not, you have to go to the database and try to look at our database. So it is this one here, and we have just to click on forums. It has not been created. Okay, let's try again. I don't know why it has not been created. Okay, now the problem is this. What is happening is that we did not change this one. So instead of category.store, it should be forum.store. Forum.store. Let's make sure it is that one from the, it is not structure, it is forum.new. But then you can just change from new to store. And try it again. So it was JavaScript promises. And then we choose JavaScript here. This forum is all about JavaScript promises. So let's try again and see. Let's look at this. Let's refresh and see. Okay, there's something wrong, and let's troubleshoot that in the next section. I don't want this video to be too long. Thank you so much, and let's meet in the next section. So actually our code is working, but it did not test. So I've just tested. I've gone to the dashboard and found that it has created to the admin, not dashboard actually, to the database, and found that the forums are created. So let's try another one. Let's just do B2C. And that one will put under this, and then this forum is all about B2C integration. So if we click on add forum, you'll find that forum created successfully. And if we go to the database and refresh, you'll find that forum has been added here. Here it is. And you have category. You can see category ID. You can see his ID, and there is ID 1. So basically that is very simple. Now you saw the method that you've used this time round. On the forums, we did not do all the fields, but we just use this one line to save all the fields. Not this one actually. We just use this one line, forum create, and then we pass everything that comes through the request, and it will add to the database. But the first thing you have to make sure is to add this protected gallery, that is for mass assignment. And then another thing is that you see we were not receiving this message here, and that the reason was that we had not included this here, the illuminate support facades, and then the session did not include session. So make sure that the session is included here. This is in your code, and then you'll start receiving the message after creating forum. So that is the creating. But now what about displaying? And now fetching the forums and then displaying like categories here. So let's do that in the next section. Thank you so much. So for us to display the categories, the first thing we have to do is to go to the dashboard .blade.php that is inside views and layouts, and then this is the file. And inside the categories here, as you can see, you have the categories here. You have to copy this and then paste below. Now instead of categories, you're going to call them forums. And then we can change icon from far list all for categories to far, I think it is far group something, far users. Right, that one, and then this one will be forums. So we'll have to create a route called forum. So if we do that and go back and refresh, it's going to throw an error because you don't have that route. So you have to go to web.php and create forums route. So just copy this and then paste, change from post to get, and then this one will be dashboard forums. This one, the method is going to be index, and then will be just the forums like that, and save it. And that is it. So if we refresh this, it works, and now you can see forums here. Right, you can see forums here. Now we want it to work in a way that when somebody clicks on forums, we want to open the forums table. So for us to do that, the first thing we have to create the forums file, which is going to be inside the admin pages. So it is inside the pages here, and then you have to create another one called forums .blade.php. And now there we'll go to categories here and just copy this code and we'll paste that in the forums. That's the one that we just created. And we'll modify this code. So instead of forum categories, we just do forums. And this one will also be forums. Okay, so after that, we will also remain forums. And just do all forums. And then now the forum is going to have the title, the description. We're also going to have category, I'm going to have category here, and then description here. Yeah, we can add the user created, but I don't think that is important for now. Okay, so remember that now we are using this one was for categories, but now it is forums. So this will change from categories to forums, and we'll have to send that data with the from the container. So this can just need to be image, but there's a way we'll change that. Then it's going to be forum. Like this. So let's just save that. After saving that, we'll go back to the forum controller, and in this index, the first thing we are going to do is to fetch all the forums. So we'll do forums is equals to forum latest. We want to fetch the latest forums, and then get latest get. We can also paginate, but right now I just want to fetch all of them. Then we'll just return view. That view is admin pages dot forums, and you have to send together that data. So you have to compact forums. That is all you have to do. So just save like that. So if all is well, it needs to work. If you click on this, it will display all the forums. So, and we have the undefined method categories. I don't know the categories is still in these forums dot. I don't know where categories is. So this one, it should be forums. So if we have that, I think you can just paginate then. So we can just enter latest and then paginate here. And then you want to paginate 20 per page, or you can do 10 per page like that. And then if we refresh, you find that that error has been solved. And we have our forums here. So instead of here we have category. So how do we get category? If we go to the forums, we need that forums category. And what do we do? Well, now this will take us relationships. Now where we can relate our models and be able to get data easily, right? So we have to relate the forums table and the categories table. So to do that, you just search for forums, this one, and then you have to create a function. Just do public function. So what is the relationship between the forum and categories? So the relationship is one to many, right? So one category has many forums. So on the forum, we'll do category, public function category, like that. And in this, we just return this. This belongs to what? Belongs to app models category. So that is setting that relationship of many one to many relationships. So each category has what? Has many forums, and the forum belongs to category. So this is what we do in the forum table. and then we go to category, not table actually, model. We go to category model. We go to category model, and we add we add there public function. We can just call it forums, and then we'll do return this has many. So category has many forums. So this has many app models, and then forum. And that is it with our relationship. So after setting that relationship, we can now easily get the category here. So what we are going to do is here we'll do for, and then category, and we are getting the title like that. So forum category title, and that should work. And there we go, we have the title, and first I have this title, the category in which this forum belongs. And that is all about displaying our categories. And in the next section, we'll just do where we can read, you can edit, and you can delete in the next section. So thank you so much, and let's meet in the next session. So welcome again to this course, and in this section we are going to start looking at the category either view, edit, and delete. Now, in the last section, we looked at how we can display categories that have been created from the data to the page so that we can look at them. And then in this section, we are supposed to look at view, but I'm not going to look at it at this time. I'm going to go right to edit. And the reason is obvious, or may not be obvious to some people, but the reason I'm skipping this is that there are many things that involves the forums. For example, a forum is topics. A forum is topics, and these topics, they have posts, and these posts, they have replies. So there are a lot of information that we need to display on viewing the forum. We need to maybe the forum, the details, the topics in that forum, the people who posted, the interaction. So I think this one we are going to do it later. Now let's look at edit functionality. So we want it to work in a way that when somebody clicks on this edit button, we take him to the edit form, and then when it updates the information, that forum is going to be updated. So for us to do that, you have to go first to the button where it is, and where it is in these forums.blade.php, and we have this second anchor tag here. And you see, when somebody clicks on this, we are passing, but still it is category, so we have to change it to forum. Right, you have to change it to forum. And these rows, they are not created, so meaning that you have to create them. Okay, so when somebody can this button where edit button, we are sending him to this route, but we are sending together with the forum ID so that we can get that ID in the controller and send that to the form plus the forum details. So for us to do that, the first thing is to create these methods, because if we don't create these methods, we are going to get an error. So for us to create these routes, not for us to create these routes, you have to go to the web.php, and then I will create those routes. So these ones, let's just copy these and paste them below these ones. So the first one, instead of forum, will be forums. This one will also be forums, and same to this. And then after that, remember we have forum controller, so you're not going to use the category controller, you have the forum controller. So just change the name of the controller to the forum controller, and then the methods, the names, the route names, we change them to forum. We change to forum. So after doing that, you've already created those routes. Okay. And what next? Yeah, remember we have this method edit, update, and destroy, and this method they're on the forum controller. So the next thing is that you have to go to the forum controller. But before that, let me just show you something. When somebody clicks on edit here, you see we are getting if you look at the bottom here, you find that you're getting that forums ID. Now we are getting the forum ID. Now we are on the category. It's actually need to be on forums. So it's saying a route not found, and that route I think it is should be a forum.edit. And when you go to forums, I think we do not just did forum like that, so it should be forum.edit like that. That should not be forum.edit, it should be just forum. This one should be forum, this one should be forum.edit. Forum.edit, and this one is going to bring the form, this one will be forum.destroy. So let's change that in the web.blade.php. So first one is going to be forum. Here we change to update. And here we just pass the forum ID. And those are the routes that we require. Now that will solve our issue here. So if we refresh, you'll find that issue has been solved. So we have the forums here, and what you want is that when somebody clicks on this button, we take him to the forum edit form. And the first thing you have to create that form also. So we'll go to the views admin pages and then create that. So it will be edit underscore forum .blade.php, and what you are going to do is just to copy the create or add forum. You're just going to copy this code and paste to the edit forum, because that is the very form that we need. We just have to pass data to that file, but then change it to update, just like that. So if we click here, if we first refresh and then click on edit, there's nothing that's going to happen, because remember we've set up those routes here, but we've not set up those methods in the forum controller. we have the routes here. Like this route is the one that handles that, but you've not set up this method. You've not set up the functionality of what it should do when the request comes to it. And so that is the first thing that you're going to handle. We go to the forums controller, which is here, and then we look for edit method. And this is the edit method. And what you have to do is just to find the forum by the ID that comes through the request, and then send it to the form to the edit forum file that you've created. So just do forum is equals to forum. Then we have the method find, and you are finding that ID. And then after that, we just return view, and that is pages, and then edit underscore forum. Now then you have to pass data alongside that, so you have to compact data. You have to compact the data which is forum. And now that is it. Now we can click on that and it's going to take us to that file. So let's first refresh. Now if we click on this button here, you have an error inside undefined variable categories. Okay, so there's something. You remember that we were sending together with categories, so we have to send to categories also. So we just define categories is equals to category, and then latest, and then get. So like that, and then you have to compact categories also. You have to send categories also like that. So in doing that, the error is solved. And now we have our form. So you have the title, you have the category, and then we have the description. But now remember, we have to, since we are updating, you have to enter the information that is contained in that forum. So to do that, you go to the edit forum form, and then we have to echo the details. So just don't need these ones, just remove. We don't need this one. So that is it. So after that, we just do the category will remain as it is, right? The category remains, but then the forum description, you have to do something. So here, in between the here text area, I'll just do forum and then description, and save that. And then the title, the value is going to be forum title, and that is it. That is all we have to do. In the full, you find the information about that forum here now. Okay, so somebody can take that and then can change category, can change the category, and then after that they can update it. So that is it. But then now what about updating? So updating, we have the method. You remember on the web.php. Okay, let's do that in the next session. Thank you so much. Welcome again, and in this session we are going to work on the update functionality. So in the last section we did the edit functionality where we were able to, when we go to forums, we are presented by all our forums, but then if we click on the edit button here, we get directed to the edit forum form, and that forum details are populated in our form. Okay, so let's just change something from add new forum to edit forum. So we'll just go to our form, and then instead of add, it will be edit. And here we change to edit forum. So another thing that we need to change is this method here. Instead of forum.store, it should be forum.update. And then forum.update, but you have to pass there the forum ID. You know that. So you have to pass there the forum ID. So after this, we are going to get these details in the forum. So we have to pass the forum ID. So what I'm trying to show you that when you go to the web.blade.php, you find that this method forum.update, it takes in the ID of that forum, and then it updates. So after doing that, we go to the forums controller and to the update functionality. And the first update method, and the first thing is to get the forum. So the forum is going to be equals to forum, and then we find that forum by the ID that comes through the request. Okay, so that is the forum. And then if that forum is there, we have to update it. So let's just do this. We'll do the same way we did during creating. We'll do this if forum okay, we don't need to do this because we just do forum and then update, and then we have to pass their request all. So we are updating everything that comes through the request. So if some other field that will come to the request will not come through the request, will not update them. But we are only updating the field that will come in the request. So after that, of course, you need to go back with an error. Not an error, actually the message. So we just paste that there. Then forum updated successfully. So after that, let us test it now. So we go here, and then we can change. You can just say we change the forum category. So here the forum category, you can change it to JavaScript and see. So let's just click on update and see. So we have an error. And that error is saying that user ID cannot be null. So the reason is that we have to log in again. It looks like we are logged out. So you have to log in again. You have to log in again. So after logging in, you have to go to the dashboard. Forums. And then this is the one that let's just update this one here. updated, but this one you just change to JavaScript. Let's hit update and see. And as you can see, the forum updated successfully, and as you can see, it is updated. So that is it. That is how to write the update functionality, right? So we are done with the create, read, and update. So what remains is the delete functionality, where now if somebody clicks on delete, it will delete the forum. So let's just do it right away. That is very easy. And very easy because you have the method destroy here. And when we click here, what we are going to do, we are going to send the ID of that forum. And after sending that the ID of that forum, we have to get it here. Of course, we defined that in the web.php. We get the ID, and then after getting the ID, we delete it. So let's just go back to the forum controller, and the first thing is to get the forum. So just do is equals to forum find. You have to find by ID, and then they just delete it. So forum, you call delete method, and that is it. And after that, you have to go back with a message. That message will say forum deleted successfully. And that is it. So let's try to delete and see. And the first thing is to refresh. So let's try to refresh this one and to delete this one. And it been deleted. I still don't understand why when we are deleting it doesn't go back with the message, but we'll find that out. So here we have done the CRUD for forum. In the next section, I think we can now start looking at our topics, because each forum has a topic, right? So if we go to the home, you find out that this is our forum, and every forum has topics, and every topic has what? Posts. So in the next session, let's now start working on we have done a foundation in the backend or admin panel. Let's now come here and start working on creating topics. First, you have to fetch all those forums and categories and display them here. And then we'll go to where we can now create topics and you can create posts. So thank you so much, and let's meet then.